So there's this age-old argument, what is the difference between a geisha and a prostitute? And it really has to do with clientele and their desires. What's the difference between your mother and a geisha or a prostitute? It has to do with clientele and their desires. Women sometimes have traits in them that make them so that there are certain kinds of people that if you put them in certain kinds of situations, they are disruptive to it. There was a kind of woman in Japan, up until the Tokugawa shogunate, that used to be they used to travel among the houses more often than not. There might be multiple houses that have a claim on them. And because of the different multiple houses having a claim on them, they would lead a more public life. But because these claims could be negotiated, they were not considered prostitutes, and they were usually not engaged in sexual relationships. This is just an offhand asterisk here, because when a woman is in a man's home in Japan, if there is a sexual relationship, she was in his home. Maids, everybody, everything. Some households, they did things with the maids so that they wouldn't be the same as the women that they were married to. Other households, they didn't. But whatever happened in the house stayed in the house. What came out of the house, especially these big houses, they would try to keep that all together in there. So, once you go into these houses, anything goes. But it was typically arranged that there were women who dedicated their lives, because so many people were interested in them, that they developed poise and presentation and such like that. It wasn't hundreds of people interested in them, but maybe 5. Maybe 3. And so they would have relationships in different areas. In different daimyos intermarried, right? So you didn't have the ancestry to be the lady of the castle, but you had the ancestry that if you just married into the village, there'd be a lot of dead villagers. There'd be something. Your children couldn't be sold to the salt cellar. So those women would dedicate their lives to the arts. They would be seen as married women. When marriages had to be cleared by the shogun, these women were not ever cleared or chosen first. When their resources got divided, they didn't have enough for the second pavilion. So that's when they still didn't fit in the village. They didn't fit in the pleasure district. So they came up with some other way for them to meet their obligations. And most of these daimyos were related to the emperor.